Yes, for new time moms, this is like a getaway, but in the long run, you will not love it. So, see, this thing you are starting, you cannot finish it. Yeah, see, your classmates will laugh at you when you suck. Your own is just with you. He will stop it, he will stop it. Time they go, he will stop it, stop it. He's not stopping it. People will always poke nose and have different assumptions about you, no matter what you do in this life. I said, the moment I'm doing like this, I'm really like this. But you see this sucking of tongue at the lips. Worst type. Some children will still suck the blood, suck the wound. Like, imagine you being in the middle of the road, everybody's looking at you, and the topic of discussion is your child. At that point, I said, KG, you will stop listening because it's getting to me. It's getting to me. Yeah. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a long time coming. Calm down. Okay, firstly, bit by bit to get there. That's alright, that's okay. So in today's video, we'll be talking about how I stopped my baby from sucking his hand. So this is one one major thing that most mothers might go through. And firstly, I would like to say it depends on you. Are you comfortable with it? Are you okay with your baby sucking his or her hands? Or is it bothering you? Well, I also like to say that you know your child better than any other person, from your doctors to friends, family, neighbors, every other person. Why did I say so? You carried this child in your womb for 9 months, so you know that child better than any other person. So regardless of any comment anybody will drop, regardless of anything anybody will say, just know that you know your child better than anybody. I'm not saying don't listen to anybody. I'm not saying don't listen to your doctors especially, but you know your child better than any other person. So firstly, for my child KD, in case you are new here, KD means King David. So when I had KD, he was showing signs. So the first point is the signs would always be there. I remember I have this video where I was under the sun. We were doing phototherapy. I'll drop the video here. He was placing his hands in his mouth. We're under the sun because he had jaundice. So in case you've not seen my video on jaundice, just scroll down to my videos and look for jaundice in newborns. And the title I put in the picture is "Why is your baby yellow?" Right? Yeah. So he'll place his hand in his mouth. So in my head, I'm like, they'll tell me, don't worry, leave it. It's okay. He's just a child. He's going to teeth very fast. He's going to grow teeth very fast. So that was what they were telling me then. So, but I was like, okay, maybe he's actually a very fast child. Yeah. So he will do that. So sometimes he'll tell me, oh, his gum is scratching him. So sometimes he'll do, sometimes he'll not do. So he was stopping and doing it. So I was just like, he will stop it. Somebody even told me that her child used to place the full 5 fingers into his mouth and he stopped it. So that is another point. Your child is different from another person's child. So that is why I said you know your child better. Some children might actually do that, but stop along the line. But for you, you don't know what your case would be. So it's better to be on the safer side. Yeah. So 3 months, 4 months down the line, he was putting the whole hands. Then he chose a particular finger and he was not doing like this, he was doing like this. So now this finger is going in, and what it was doing was, with the force he's using to do it, you know how they suckle on nipple now, that is how they also suckle on the finger. So the force he's using to do it, you'll notice that this part is bringing his teeth forward, and also this part of his mouth was lifting up more. I wasn't comfortable with it. I've never been a fan of it's okay for your child to suck his or her hands. I've never been. I don't want it for my own children. Yeah, that's why I said it depends on you. Depends on what you want. If you don't see it as a problem, that's fine. If you see it as a problem, work on it. So now let me just quickly touch on the disadvantage of sucking. One, it disfigures their teeth depending on the position the child does. it disfigures their teeth, their dentition. That's why you see some of them, the teeth, at the end of the day, they end up using toothbrush. Yeah, so I have people around me that have said similar things too. So I do not want that. Two, it is hard to stop in the long run. So the earlier, the better. It is hard to stop in the long run. Somebody told me that her 30-something-year-old cousin still sucks her fingers, and it is this too, down to sucking it on her wedding day. God, that is what you don't want, because stopping it in the long run becomes harder. So some will say, there was somebody that told me he stopped his at 12 years old. Now, another disadvantage of sucking is most times the child is not attentive. Like what happened in the case of KD. I noticed that once I leave him to suck that hand, he can stay all day without disturbing me. Yes, for new time moms, this is like a getaway, but in the long run, you will not love it. So when I know I'm going to really be busy, I'll just remove whatever I placed on it and for him to freely suck, so that I can freely do what I want to do. But in the long run, I told myself, see, this thing you are starting, you cannot finish it. So the earlier you stop it, the better for you. So what I actually did was, okay, let me just be done with the disadvantage before I go to what I actually did. So they don't become attentive. I've listened to teachers. Some of the teachers will tell you that children that actually suck their hands in class are not attentive. They'll just be there sucking, and they're not listening. So you don't want your child to be less attentive in class, because you are paying school fees. You're paying school fees, and it's not making sense that your child is carrying last position in the class. Some might have the experience that of maybe the child was still attentive but still sucking. It all depends on you. What I know is my younger sister used to suck her hands, and I wouldn't know because I was young, so I don't know the measures they use. But I know one thing they used to do then is apply bitter leaf. She will suck the bitter leaf and suck the hand. I think what made her stop was she would go to when she was about to go into school. School then, when she knew, so would not be telling her, see, your classmates will laugh at you when you suck her. So she became ashamed of it, and was how she stopped. But yours might be tougher. It might not be easy that way. So the earlier you stop it, the better. Yeah, so these three things, major things, are the disadvantages of sucking. For me, another personal disadvantage is embarrassing for me as a mom to see my child, see children play, your own is just with you. This is not insulting anybody, but I'm just speaking about myself and my choice too. So I don't think I buy the idea in any way at all. Yeah, so what I did at first, I started placing socks on his hand. Yes, so even then when I place it, many people be like, why are you placing socks on? He say he's sucking. Don't worry, he will stop it. He will stop it. Time they go. He will stop it. He's not stopping it. I was putting the socks. Yes, I will change it 2 or 3 times a day. Yes, so this means you have to be carrying some socks extra socks in your bags. When you pack your bags to go to work, to church, or anywhere, you have to carry extra socks to replace it, because the more they suck, the more it gets wet, and if the child is in their crawling phase, they place their hands on the floor and it gets dirty. So you don't want that for your child. Yeah, so the socks, you have to change it from time to time. So I continued with the socks. If the socks is light, I noticed that he will suck it and get it wet, but if it's thick, he will not suck. Once he puts it in his mouth, he will remove it, except he has to scratch that he's gone, he will remove it. So some persons might have the experience of you wore it in one hand and the baby started sucking the other hand. Me, I was lucky. Katie did not go to the other hand. So because he already had a particular finger he loved to suck. So what I would say for that case, wear it in both hands. Yeah. Then after some time, because of that socks thing, anytime I snap his pictures, everybody's asking why he sucks on his hand, why he sucks on his hand. And some persons even went as far as thinking maybe he was disabled in a particular hand. This is not speaking against disability. It's just that people will always poke nose and have different assumptions about you, no matter what you do in this life. So, and every of his pictures, socks were appearing in his hand. For me, it was spoiling his picture. For me, that I love perfect pictures. So, and now, one of the days, I went to see my friend in the hospital. So, she just gave birth. So, the nurses now said, why did you place, it was the same hospital I gave birth in, why did you place socks on his hand? And I said, he's sucking. I said, Maya plaster now. And I'm like, okay, Maya plaster. That is put plaster. That is plaster for injuries. I said, I said, okay, now please help me. So she brought this, is it bandage? Yes, bandage, and wrapped it around the finger. It was, now Maya plaster. We got downstairs. He put it in his mouth, he removed it. Put it in his mouth, remove it. Put it in his mouth. Started crying. So some persons saw the plaster and said, he will still suck the plaster. And you wouldn't blame them because maybe they've had that experience with their child. Probably the child still had to suck the plaster. But it was not same for mine. Yes, it wasn't same for mine in any ways. KD did not suck that plaster. And that was the end. After 1 month, so what I did, I had to go and buy the full pack of a plaster. So from time to time, I changed the plaster from his hand. And please, when wrapping it, please don't wrap it so tight. Wrap it loose. Not loose in a way that the child can pull it off or with his gum or whatever. Wrap it loose. And I would say start earlier. KD was 4 or 5 months. Yes, so, and KD is actually a very fast child. So at some point, even with that sock, sometimes he pulls out the sock. So I just told myself, God, you have to help me. And another thing you need to do, pray about it. It bothered me to the point that yes, I prayed though. Hey, I prayed. I know there are times, and even that sauce, what he will do, he will leave you and that sauce. Anytime you want to bake, you know you have to remove everything, you wash everything. The moment I'm doing like this, I'm really like this. And I'm like, is this still working? So I'll carry the finger. I'll say, I remove your mind from sucking this finger. You will not suck your fingers. You will forget about that. What I used to say then. So pray about it. So and I think the earlier you start, the easier it is to stop it. But if you don't start earlier, the child, maybe if you do it when at maybe 1 year plus, the child might easily be able to pull the plaster. But maybe from 1 year plus, I think you can tie, but not so firm, but firmer than how you would have tied it if the child was 6 months or thereabout. Yeah, so that's pretty much what you can do. Yeah, so that was basically it, though. That was basically it for my child. Another thing again that might happen is, I know of somebody that says she tried it, then the child moved to sucking the tongue or the lips, one of it. And this one is the worst type of sucking. You see this finger on can easily be controlled. But you see this sucking of tongue at the lips. Worst type. Worst type. That one, you can't even stop it. Except you want to be beating or spanking the child. Maybe if it is the lip, you do. And it's really hard. So the child now left the finger, was going to the lips, so she had to give up the finger. So I wouldn't know what she ended up doing, what she would end up doing finally, like, but I'm just grateful to God that KD's won't stop, because I don't know. At some point I almost gave her time, should I leave him to talk? I said no. I thank God I didn't give up, and I followed it back to back, and now he's no longer sucking. Though when I used the plaster, he stopped sucking it. He obviously started disturbing. I became so energetic. He had always been energetic, but yeah, so it was more obvious then. But do I regret it? No. Let him be energetic. That's his nature. Yeah, so that's just it basically. So I hope this video was helpful to a new mom, trying mom. Try these methods. The child will stop. Try it. I know somebody that even said they cut the fingers. I can't do that one. I don't have the mind. Cut the fingers. So I heard that some children will still suck the blood, suck the wound. I just really thank God KD's on what it is. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you're a mom here and you're going through these things, or probably you might come across these things, or you've conquered, please just drop in the comment section. Just let us know. Help a fellow mom like you. Tell us what methods you used. Yeah, so let me just do a quick recap. One, start on time. You can even start from when you give birth to the child. Just be wearing the child gloves. Yeah, start on time. Don't listen to hearsay. He will stop. You never know what your child will do at the end of the day. You know your child better. Yeah, 3, just start on time. If you start earlier, you might not even need to advance to plaster if you start with gloves earlier. Yeah, so some child might not show you signs at the beginning, but later on they will. So if you can just start from the beginning to use gloves, fine and good. Yeah, so somebody told me from giving birth to a child from the beginning, she was always using gloves. So the child did not. I know of somebody else that said because the child has an elder sister, so anytime he places his hand in his mouth, yes, that the sister will always remove it. So that was helpful. So the boy did not suck. Yeah, another thing that was embarrassing, why I said it's embarrassing for me, because some person might be like, how is sucking embarrassing? Let me tell you, one of those days I was going out, I was on a bike, I was carrying him, so he was sucking. So somebody was shouting, madam, 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 madam. People in front were not like showing me, okay, see, I turned back. She said, remove his hand from his mouth, remove his hand, it's not good. She was speaking in Igbo. Remove his hand from his mouth, it's not good. Like, imagine you being in the middle of the road, everybody's looking at you, and the topic of discussion is your child. She don't even say let her come close. Okay, I was in the middle of the road, but at that point I said, KD, you will stop this thing because it's getting to me. It's getting to me. Yeah, so you might say it's not embarrassing. It was for me. Yeah, so alright. Please, if you watched to this point, give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, share, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.